Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the most offensive podcast ever. I'm Slimmy V, and today I am going to be talking about Senator Rand Paul clashing once again with Dr. Fauci. Now, I got these two videos that I linked up because I, like you, is trying to get to the bottom of this mess that the American and the world have gotten themselves into. And we want to know who is responsible. We want to know who is behind it. And we want to know who funded this lab or several labs that we have here in the United States. So now, before I play this video, I would like you to consider hitting that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. And those of you who have already subscribed, I appreciate each and every single one of you. God bless you all. Now, without further ado, let's get to Dr. Fauci.
In the U.S., we have 11 labs doing it, and you have allowed it here. We have a committee to do it, but the committee has granted every exemption. You're fooling with Mother Nature here. You're allowing super viruses to be created with a 15% mortality. It's very dangerous. I think it was a huge mistake to share this with China, and it's a huge mistake to allow this to continue in the United States. And we should be very careful to investigate where this virus came from.
I fully agree that you should investigate where the virus came from. But again, we have not funded gain-of-function research on this virus in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, no matter how many times you say it.
There was research done with Dr. Shi and Dr. Barrett. They have collaborated on gain-of-function research where they enhanced the SARS virus to infect human airway cells, and they did it by merging a new spike protein on it. That is gain-of-function. That was joint research between the Wuhan Institute and Dr. Barrett. You can't deny it.
Senator Paul, your time has expired.
So now you heard this, okay? Number one, Senator Rand Paul is asking whether he funded these research. He's saying no. Now, this is wordplay. This is Fauci being around politics most of his life, knowing how to play this political word game. And notice, he said, no, I did not fund, or the NIH did not fund the research labs. But look and listen to how this game is played, because he did, in fact, fund a middle person, a middleman, who then took that money and funded the research lab. What am I talking about? Let's check this video out, and then you're going to see for yourself, okay? You're going to understand what is gains of function research is, okay? It's a place where they create super viruses with 15% mortality rate, okay? Because regular viruses have a 1% mortality rate. When they go to these labs and they conduct their research, and they spike these proteins, the mortality rate goes up 15%, which makes it highly dangerous to us humans if it should sneak out. But let me just shut up and let me just allow this video to play so you can understand how NIH, who is headed by Dr. Fauci, funded a middle ground who in turn funded the lab that created these super viruses. I hope you follow what I'm saying, okay? And that's where you catch Dr. Fauci lying once again, or lying by omission, right? He's lying politically. I don't know. Let me get to the video.
Dr. Fauci, do you still support funding of the NIH funding of the lab in Wuhan?
You heard that question, all right? Now, this is a replay of Dr. Fauci denying it, I think not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times.
The NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute. We have not funded gain-of-function research on this. I will repeat again, the NIH and NIAID categorically has not funded gain-of-function research. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say, I don't know how many times I can say it.
Well, maybe one more. How many times can he say it? Dr.
4 times. Now listen to
Fauci being very careful with his words with Senator Rand Paul today. Fauci says the NIH and the NIAID never directly funded gain-of-function research at the Institute, the Wuhan Institute of Virology. But, like we said, before that's true, but it's also misleading. You see, the NIH, headed by Dr. Fauci, sent $3.7 million to a nonprofit called Echo Health Alliance.
Echo Health Alliance. 3.7 million or billion? Or, let me hear that again.
She sent $3.7 million to a nonprofit called Echo Health Alliance, which then turned around and sent $600,000 from that grant to the Wuhan lab.
Okay, so you see how that middle ground is. So what Fauci was saying is right. This is what the liberals who are siding with Fauci is going to pick up on. Yeah, but he did not. He was telling the truth. But it's misleading because there's a middle ground. Fauci knows that the money that goes there is going to fund the lab that's going to do those researches on these super viruses.
I hope you're following that. Take your time, play this back. Dr. Fauci's favorite sparring partner joins us now, Senator Rand Paul. Senator Rand Paul, you feel as though, using some of the things I just said, that Dr. Fauci was being deceptive today. In what way?
Well, I think it's incredibly important that the audience know what gain of function is. They take an animal virus that's benign and does not infect humans, and they juice it up, they make it a super virus so it can infect humans. Now, ostensibly, this is done to study the virus, but there's a danger if that virus leaks that it could kill a lot of people. So when I asked him about this research, we knew the answer. The answer is this, that there's a famous scientist in the Wuhan lab. Her name is Dr. Shi, and she published a paper a couple years ago, which has been reviewed by MIT and says that it's a gain of function research. But in the byline, she has to list the sponsors. She lists Dr. Fauci and the NIAID as a sponsor of her research, which everybody acknowledges gain of function research, juicing up these super viruses. So I don't know how he can get around this. He could argue, oh, it was an intermediary group. We gave it to EcoHealth who gave her the money. I can't imagine he's on national television saying that he didn't do this when the peer-reviewed journal has a byline that says the author, this Batwoman, this scientist from the Wuhan Institute, that she acknowledges that the money came from Dr. Fauci and his institute.
So this is a dangerous act. Okay, let's say it's science. I want to stop the next one, so I got to see what happens when we activate these viruses. But other people say it's too dangerous. If this gets out, it's going to be devastating. Somehow, it could have gotten out. Is that what you're saying, Senator?
I don't think we know for sure, but yes, it could have gotten out, and there are a lot of people arguing that there are several different unusual aspects to the virus that make it look like it came from a lab and not from nature. They haven't found an intermediate host. They haven't found anything between the bat and the human. Both SARS and MERS went to an intermediate host, like a ferret or a civet. But the other thing that's peculiar about this is that when we look at this and we say, you know, did it come directly? The way they're studying this in the lab, they studied the SARS virus. This is the one like COVID that came around in 2004, but had a 15% mortality. So they juiced up this already deadly virus and made it more infective into humans in the lab. They've admitted that they did that, but can you imagine 15% mortality? COVID-19 has a 1% mortality. That means instead of 3 million people dying worldwide, if one of the viruses that she worked on with NIH money got out, 45 million people could have died. There are 11 labs like this in the U.S. that are studying animal viruses that they're transforming into deadly human viruses. 11 labs like this in the United States.
Wow. I think this needs to stop. I understand studying viruses, right? Because we do think another country could attack us biologically. Okay? It's called biological warfare, where they create this super virus and then they sneak it into the US and just kills as much people as possible, right? So I understand the need to work on these viruses. But if they somehow made a mistake and it snuck out, right? Whether it was by mistake or purposely, they should just come out and admit that. They should own up to it. Let us Americans know what's going on. Because now, what we're doing right now is placing blame, and rightfully so, on Dr. Fauci. Because Dr. Fauci is the face of this. Right now, he's the face. So we should know for sure what really happened. Okay, this is why I commend Senator Rand Paul for doing his research, for being brave to question Dr. Fauci, for holding him accountable. Okay, for doing what he is supposed to do. And for him doing this, and those journalists or reporters out there are not doing what he's doing, shame on them. So we need more people like Senator Rand Paul to continue being tough and asking these tough questions. Again, these labs in the US, and there are 11 of them, it's no wonder that they are forcing vaccines. Now, my theory is they are forcing these vaccinations to make up for the mistakes that they've made or they're going to make. So we don't know. Now we're over here, we don't trust the vaccine. We've seen the side effect that the vaccine caused. It caused herpes, some caused paralysis from the neck down, some caused death, some even caused blood clots. Some have headaches, fevers, and these normal other things that even other vaccines have caused. Look, we understand not all vaccines are not all vaccines, not all vaccines are perfect. Okay, we understand that. So there are going to be certain side effects. But when you have dangerous side effects such as people being paralyzed, not one, not two, not three, but several people, that's something that you do not mandate on people. Okay? These 11 labs that's here in the US should be shut down until further notice. This is highly dangerous because it could sneak out. What are these scientists that's doing research are going to stay? They got families to go home to. Who do say they're not going to walk out with it? We don't know. Okay, so I did this video to prove to you and to show other people that Dr. Fauci is straight, with a straight face, lying to you like a politician. Okay? So that's all I wanted to do. Thank you, Senator Rand Paul. Thank you, Fox News. I usually get on mainstream news media for not really doing their due diligence, but thank you for doing your homework and providing us this material. Really appreciate that. Please, guys, comment below. Share this video. Okay, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep fighting the fight. Let's keep finding the truth. If you're not offended, you're not listening. I'm Slimmy V, and this is the most offensive podcast ever. God bless, stress less, and let Yahweh give you rest. I'm out. Peace.